Welcome to another edition of From the Bottom Up. And today we are doing Slippery When Wet from Bon Jovi, which is the one of the biggest selling hard rock albums of all time. It came out on August the 18th, 1986 on Mercury Records. It's gone 15 times platinum to date. Record was produced by Bruce Fairbairn. And of course, it hit number one, along with a couple songs that made number one on this album. So we're going to rank it from the bottom up. I don't know anybody who would do this list that would not have this song as the worst song on the album at number 10 here. We've got Social Disease. The song just does not sound like it belongs on the album. It sounds like filler. It's definitely a throwaway track. That's why we got it at number 10. Number nine, I've got the leadoff track, Let It Rock. Um, Good song. Don't get me wrong. Good song. Just not as good as anything else that we got rated below it. That's all. Social Disease is the only song that is just garbage on this album. The rest are all good to excellent. So we've got Let It Rock, the opening track at number nine. Number eight. Well, I'm probably going to take some slack for this one, but I've got Wanted Dead or Alive. This song to me has not aged that well. Um, I hear it on the radio. I just want to turn this channel. Um, it peaked at number seven. Don't get me wrong. I used to like this song back in the day a lot, but especially the line, I've seen a million faces and I've rocked them all. That's just a classic line right there. That's one of the best lines John's ever written. But for some reason, the song itself just has not aged well for me, and that's why I've got it at number eight. Number seven, Wild in the Streets. They got a lot of anthem songs on this album. That's what helped propel this album up to where it is. When you got an album full of great songs like this album does, um, this is the area where I feel it's getting harder to start ranking them. The bottom three that I had here, piece of cake. I knew exactly where those were going to fall. Um, Probably my number one and my number two are locked in, and everything from three up until seven here. These ones are tough. They could go any way depending on how I feel and the day of the week. Wild in the Streets was written by John Bon Jovi. It's the only song on the album that he wrote by himself. Pretty much the rest of the songwriting credits on the album are with him and Richie Sambora, and then Desmond Child chimes in on four, including the two big ones. So that's what we got for number seven, Wild in the Streets. Number six, this song that I got here, I thought was going to be a lot higher because I used to really, really love this song. And I still like it. I still think it's a great song. It's just over the years, it's kind of lost its magic for me. But I've got Never Say Goodbye, the ballad, the song that really definitely stands out compared to the rest of the album because it's the slowest song on the album. But that's not why it just seems like I don't know, it just hasn't aged as well as I had hoped. But definitely Never Say Goodbye, phenomenal song. And we've got it at number six. And that's going to take us to number five, which is Without Love, another great song that was co-written by John Ritchie and Desmond Child. And this is definitely one of the highlights on the album. I wish this song would have been released as a single. I would almost guarantee it would have made at least a top 20 single for sure. Without Love, just a great song. Can't go wrong with a song like that. And then number four, we've got none other than Raise Your Hands. Just another fabulous song here, written by John and Richie. Rocks from beginning to end. And it's definitely that song was written as a concert song. You know what I mean? That had concert song written all over it with the lyrics and everything. And that's where you got at number four there. Number three, we are going down to "I Die for You." This song is definitely probably the most underrated song on the album. You don't never hear people talk about it. You don't hear it on the radio. But man, just give this song a listen and you'll be hooked for sure. This is definitely one of those deep cuts that you just appreciate more and more as time has gone on. "I Die for You," number three. Number two, obviously, we're getting down to the big two here. It's just a matter of what order you prefer them in. And I prefer number two to be "You Give Love a Bad Name." The first single released on the album, the first number one song. And, you know, you hear these songs on the radio quite a bit still, especially on like Sirius XM with the Hair Nation and the classic rock stations. They play them on all of them. I don't get sick of these ones, believe it or not. I don't know why I don't. Maybe they're just so catchy and well written. Some songs you hear and hear and hear, and it drives you through the wall just listening to them over and over and over. These ones, though, I really don't have a problem with. These two, this one and my number one, I have no problem with, believe it or not. So that's what I got for my number two. "You Give Love a Bad Name." Number one, of course, it's "Living on a Prayer." The best song John Bon Jovi has ever been a part of. Um, Obviously, him, Richie, and Desmond Child wrote this one as well. And, you know, everybody knows the song, everybody knows the story, and just a great song. No matter what, you never get sick of it. Don't know why. I'm sure many people do. I don't. And that's what I've got for my number one, "Living on a Prayer." So I'm going to go run down this list here real quick just to give you the final locked in list. We've got "Social Disease" at number 10. Number 9, "Let It Rock." Number 8, "Wanted Dead or Alive." Number 7, "Wild in the Streets." Number 6, "Never Say Goodbye." Number 5, "Without Love." Number 4, "Raise Your Hands." Number 3, "I Die for You." Number 2, "You Give Love a Bad Name." And number 1, "Living on a Prayer." And that concludes this episode of From the Bottom Up featuring "Slippery When Wet" by Bon Jovi.